So one of the questions I get asked the most is how do you get epic relics in Legends of Runeterra? So in this video, I'm going to explain how and where to get them, so you can follow some of the methods that I used, and at the end of the video, I'm going to have a tier list so that you know exactly which epic relics you should be chasing first. So right now, there are two different types of relics. The first one are the champion relics, and the second one are the reliquary relics, for lack of a better name. So let's start with those. So what you want to do when you're logged in is you want to go to the store, you go to the featured area, and you click on these. You can already see here are some relics that you can buy for real money. But the one I want to mention specifically should be here. This one, the gold reliquary. This one costs 3,000 Stardust. Now, Stardust is somewhat easy to acquire once you are farther into the Path to Champion storyline, as well as when you have some resources built up. It kind of just starts pouring in. I have like hundreds of thousands of Stardust right now accumulated, but if you're just starting out, it might be hard to get that. So I would recommend saving all your Stardust up so you can get this every single month. You can see right here, expires in 3 weeks, 6 days. So every 4 weeks, you can buy a golden reliquary and it will have a random epic relic. Now, the epic relics that you get from this are not champion specific, which means they are more generally usable. For example, there is a relic called Beast Within, which gives all your units Overwhelm and +1/+1 if they have a subtype. So giving everything Overwhelm is obviously very, very good because it gives you a win con. This is not a specific relic that you only use on one champion. This is a relic that you can use on anything that uses stats. Another one is Echoing Spirit, which shuffles more copies of your champion into your deck, and your champion spell will cost 1 less. Anyone can use this, right? But if you then have a relic that says, if I'm Elise, I have 1 extra mana, that's obviously only usable for Elise, so we'll go over those later. This is one way to get a gold reliquary, and this is just what they're called, golden reliquary. So anywhere you see a golden reliquary, that will contain 1 epic relic. Another way to get one is going into the Path of Champions and then going to your legend level, which is at the top here. I'm using my girlfriend's account. She is level 17. She can get if I'm not mistaken, at level 40. So if you hit level 40 on your legend track, you get a gold reliquary and then another one at level 50. These are the only 2 that you can get in this track for free. Technically, the Stardust, like, it's also for free, but you have to wait a bit longer. These are a one-time deal. And another one, I don't think I can show it right here, but once you beat Lysandra for the 5th time, my camera is in front of it right now, so you can see the rewards right here on the bottom right. Once you have defeated Lysandra 5 times, you get a golden reliquary as well. Now, the final one, there is 1 relic you can get for free. This is a specific one. It's called Ful Build. The first time you beat Aurelian Soul, you get a relic called Ful Build, and it gives you Challenger, Tough, and Overwhelm. So that's the only one specific relic that you get for just completing a quest. Everything else, like I just mentioned, will be a golden reliquary for a random one. So that's one. Those are the golden reliquaries. Another thing that they added recently, if you go to the shop, is the Glory Store. Right here on the top left, it will have 1 random epic relic that you can buy for these glory coins that you get for completing quests and just playing the game. You do your monthlies, you will get these. So this will refresh every week, but I believe if I were to buy this right now, it will show a new one. I would recommend waiting and looking at the tier list at the end of this video to figure out which one you should buy immediately when it shows up, because there are right and wrong answers. Unless your absolute favorite champion is Elise and you want specifically that relic that's only got an Elise, that was an example that doesn't actually exist, get that one, but otherwise get the generally good epic relics that you can use on anyone, like Beast Within and Echoing Spirit, for example. The second part that is a little more niche and specific, there are multiple ways to get these champion-specific relics, and some of them are better than others. I'm gonna go over this as well in the tier list video, or the tier list part of this video that I recorded live, but some of them are better than others. For example, Victor has a relic that was made for him that gives him a Hexcore at burst speed, and you can target anything. You would think, okay, Victor clearly cares about Hexcore, but then you realize, okay, this is a spell for 0 mana. it targets something, it is a created spell, and you get it every single turn. So suddenly you open up a lot of avenues of other champions that it's also good on. Mel's Epic Relic says choose a random spell is chosen at the start of the game. It creates 4 copies in the deck of that spell. It gets -1 mana, and when you play, you draw a card. That is basically good on every single spell champion. So I would recommend just looking at content online, Reddit, Twitter, my YouTube channel to figure out which ones of those that are. So lastly, these are the ways to get them for free, but the store also obviously has paid versions. Now this one doesn't really require an explanation. This one is in the store right now for me. When I level up, refill 3 mana. If I'm Jayce, refill 6 mana instead. Obviously, this is a Jayce only relic. You don't want to get this with anyone else because there are just better alternatives. But if you're Jayce, suddenly this is best in slot. This one is a little more general, Frozen Tomb. If I'm in deck or hand, summon a Storm-Carved Spire with countdown 4, summon me. It's just a landmark that will summon the champion for free. If you have an expensive champion, it's good. If you have a champion you can play early, you can play it. The landmark will pop. You'll have 2 copies of your champion on the board. Those are all great ways to use this. The last thing is the featured section. This will have... When a new champion comes out, it will have a celebration bundle. This is Shyvana's celebration bundle who just came out, and she has the Draconic Runes relic. This is basically only good on her. But if you scroll down, you know, you have Elise. Elise one, Queen's Embrace, is a little more generally usable, which again you'll see in a tier list. But these rotate out after a certain amount of time. So Annie and Anivia came before that. The Spirit Blossom champions came before that. You see all these purple things. And Mel is actually still in. This is a pretty good relic right here. The Searing Brilliance. I rate it pretty high on my tier list. If you like spell champions, this is a great one to get. But again, this one costs real money, so I'd be a little more careful when it comes to that. And that's basically it. I would really recommend checking out the tier list after this to see the best relics that you should chase in the Glory store or when you see them in the store, as well as the Excel sheet that I try to update when I can together with Pink Rose, which will have a guide on every single champion with their best relic loadout as well. I'll show it really fast. It's in the description. It's a great resource if you're just starting out, as well as if you're a more experienced player. For example, here's a tier list of the champions, how I rate them. There will be a context video on that soon. This is Aatrox, just as an example. So here are the relics that are generally good on him. Here are powers that you really want on him. Here are items that you specifically want on Aatrox, and here are example relic builds. Darkened Blade, Starforged Gauntlet, Stalker's Blade. These are already 2 epics. And then here are some supporting champions, a link to some gameplay, when it's last updated, and the people that worked on it. So here are some tips and tricks, constellation priorities. It all kind of speaks for itself. But again, if you think to yourself, okay, Aatrox is my favorite champion, well, the Darkened Blade is a relic that's only good on him. So know that if you're purchasing it. And now I think that's everything. So let's jump into the tier list. I did the tier list live on stream, so it's a little awkward. I tried to just have a conversation with chat as well, but it should all speak for itself. And if not, leave it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Do you want more of this? Maybe I'll do like example relic builds for an entire region per champion, show off some gameplay. Let me know what you want to see. I'm ready to do more guides like this. I hope it was clear. And if not, let me know in the comments as well. And I'll see you in the next video. So on the right of the screen, you can read what it does, and then I'll take it like that. So Attendant Spirit. Power, ephemeral allies have overwhelm. If I have a Spirit Blossom unit, summon 2 Foxfire. This is not good. This is main champ only, simply because there exists a better version where everything has overwhelm all the time. This is only usable on Ahri. Big guns. Your spells and skills deal 1 extra damage. I'm thinking here or here, but I'm gonna put it niche because there are not a lot of champions that care about using spells and skills. So I feel like this kind of like limits yourself to very specific spell champions, and most of them don't even want it. It's only good for a few. Maybe Misfortune, Twisted Fate, Annie. And even on those, it's like, it's not that good. Okay, Black Shield. Black Shield is when you summon an ally granted spell shield. This is very filler. This is just like a generally good relic that you can put on anything that cares about its units, and then you replace it later with something that actually works for their build. Okay, Cease and Desist. Cease and Desist goes to use by a lot of champs. I This one is going to be the top of used by a lot of champs. It's almost God, but it is limited to your champion having 10 power. Not all of them have this, but you put this on Vi, Elder Dragon, Volibear, even Aurelion Soul. It's very good. So I would try to get this one ASAP. Champion's Purse, +2/+0 and overwhelm. When I kill an enemy in combat, create 2 coins in hand. Main champ only. This is only for set. Okay, Chosen by the Stars is also... I feel like this is also very close to God tier. These two are the very top of used by a lot of champs. Thing is, they don't really... you're going to see this later. I'm going to explain it right now. I'll explain it again later. There are some powers, and it kind of feels like the entire Path of Champions ecosystem is kind of like built around them almost. Chosen is good on a lot of characters, though. You're going to get a lot of leverage out of it. Cruel Experiments is limited use. It has slightly more use than something like this that gives your ephemerals overwhelm. It's very good on Warwick. It'll probably be good if Braum or Vladimir get added to the game eventually. It's like you're not just giving overwhelm. All your units basically have overwhelm. You're also giving everything impact. So that's sometimes slightly better than using a relic that just gives everything overwhelm. So it's like it's slightly more than main champ only, but it's definitely worse than these two. Deadly Harpoon. Deadly Harpoon is interesting because you could argue it's main champ only, but it does have some fun builds. They're definitely not optimal, but they are playable. I want to put it in limited use, but just for the sake of what this tier list is aiming to be, which is what relic should I try to get first if I see them in the Glory Store? I feel like for that purpose, I'm going to put it here, main champ only. You should only get this if you like Pike. It's fun on like Warwick because this summons a Pike into your deck, like the spell from Pike. So if you're using something like Warwick with his power that everything just gets attack everywhere, sometimes you're just summoning a 10 attack Pike. That's fun, but it's still not optimal. Death's Foil is niche combo filler. You're pretty happy with this if you have it early, but it's very rarely actually best in slot on champion. Okay, Deck of Destiny. Game start, create a 1-cost wildcard in your deck for every 7 cards in your deck. Wildcard basically makes you play a Twisted Fate card. We're going to put this in niche combo filler, actually. This is pretty good. Any champion that cares about spells on the stack will use this. It might honestly be limited use. I think I'm going to put it down to limited use because I can't think of more than like 2 or 3 champions that use it. It's good on Annie, Twisted Fate, obviously. And then it's also okay on Jhin, but you could definitely do better. Defense spending. This is your Nexus is tough. I am attack. I will put this in limited use. But this goes in limited use simply because I am tough as a power. Means that it's really good against the Swain Adventure specifically. Nothing more than that. Okay, Disciple of Shadows. I cost 1 less for each ally in play. Play, deal 3 to all other allies. This one is used by a lot of champs. It's almost God tier as well. These 3 are just extremely good. This is good on something like Elder Dragon to summon them early. It's good even on Aurelion Soul sometimes. Just anything that's expensive, summon them earlier. Draconic Runes. If I'm a dragon, grant me +4/+0 and overwhelm. Otherwise, grant me +2/+0 and fury. This one is main champ only. This is Shyvana. Game start. Create 7 copies of me in deck. Champion spells cost 1 less. This is the first God tier. This has so many applications, and even when it's not optimal, and this is your only epic relic you have, you'll be very happy playing it. The one that really pushes it over the top is champion spells cost 1 less. This enables a lot of different characters. And it's also like the reason I'm putting it higher than something like Cease and Desist is because these have a kind of restriction on it. The restriction being this needs a 10+ power ally. Also, you need to grow something to 10 power. This is only good if you're playing something expensive and you have a wide board. This is just always good enough. Emotional Support Bear. Power, game start, shuffle 3 tippers into your deck. Your tippers cost 1 less. So this is limited use. Because again, this is similar to the Twisted Fate thing, where sometimes people really care about either a skill on a stack, or the fact that Tippers is a 4 mana, 10/10. Thing is, you're filling up your deck with it, which is generally not great. Essence Theft. When you recall another unit, grant me +1/+0 power, game start, create a homecoming in hand, and grant it double time watch. Not very good. Essence Theft. Main champ only. I say main champ only, it's fine on Ahri and Yasuo, but not really. It's just not good. Fear Cleaving Axe. I'm putting it in limited use. Some might think niche combo filler, but this is only good on champions that have Spirit or Impact, and there are not that many of them. Found Fortune. is Niche Combo Filler. Draw the highest cost card that costs less than my base cost, granted an epic item and reduces cost to 0. This is similar to these three, where you basically need a high mana cost unit champion to get some other big units in hand. It's very good on Volibear. It's okay on something like Elder Dragon, maybe. But yeah, all pretty like... You're not unhappy playing this, but it's not great. Frost Breath. Main champ only. Frozen Tomb. Game start. If I'm in deck or hand, summon a Storm-Carved Spire with countdown 4, summon me. So that's just a landmark that after 4 turns summons the champion that you have it equipped on. This is... It's fine. It is funny on like some champions. Sometimes you're playing something really expensive. You play this on turn, or rather you play your main champion before turn 4 and then you have 2 of them. There are some uses. Ful Build is like the most evergreen relic ever. Challenger, Tough, and Overwhelm. This one you get for free for beating a Relic Soul for the first time, so it's pretty good. Great Talons, where you play a 6+ base cost unit, deal 2 to all enemies and the enemy nexus. Main champ only, it's basically only Elder Dragon. Slightly more use than that, but not really. Harmless Scarcrow. Really close to God tier, but used by a lot of champs. Anything that plays traps, plays Harmless Scarcrow. Spirit Blossom Teemo, Caitlyn, Fiddlesticks, obviously, but potentially Teemo in the future. It's really, really good. Hextech Rifle. Limited use. It's okay on Spirit Blossom Teemo, so you have more traps activating more. And sometimes Teemo just does 1 to everything, but generally not that good. Hidden Tome is filler. Not unhappy playing it. It's just an upgraded version of Archangel, I think, if I'm saying the name right. It's just like if you have something that needs spell mana, sometimes you use it on a champion that uses it to one-shot because they need the spell mana, like Ahri, and then it's pretty good. Icon of Valhir. Your elemental spells and skills deal 2 extra damage. It's slightly worse than big guns because not everything is elemental. You don't even play this on the main champ Volibear most of the time. There's a lot. Yeah, it's last chapter, I think. Jayce's Hextech Battery. Main champ only, obviously. Specifically says the name Jayce. Living weapon. Play, attack, and round start Forge me. Limited use. Like, the Forge is good. You don't even really care about it that much. It's good. It's mostly good at stuff that attacks a lot. Just to get the attack stat up. Loaded Dice. This one is probably going to be controversial. I'm putting this in use by a lot of champs. I think this, to me, is the ultimate filler relic. And because it is the best filler, I'm putting it 1 tier higher. Because you get 3 extra rerolls and a higher chance to find epic powers and items. And those break runs. A good power is better than any relic setup most of the time. Lux's Incandescent Baton, putting this one in main champ only. The main champ in this case being both Luxes. Mischiefmaker's Flute, when I deal damage, plant that many poison puff caps. Main champ only. It looks better than it is. It's only for Spirit Blossom Teemo. Norra's Portal Accelerator. Combo. This is only usable when you care about impact, which means pinging the enemy nexus a lot, like Fiddlesticks. So it's, yeah, it's pretty good at doing that. This is necessary to unlock the best champion in the game with its best build, aka, again, Fiddlesticks. Oath of the Guardians. This is an interesting one, because Oath of the Guardians basically is its own relic set. You play this on a cheap champion like Neela, like any 1-star champion, and then you play 2 Star Gems. You shuffle 5 level 2 champions into your deck, and then with Star Gem, you... which I'll actually show right here. Allied champions have +1/+1 and cost 2 less. So you're shuffling all these level 2 champions into your deck, and then they become way cheaper to play. Packed Powder. Okay, here. So this is also combo. This one is very specifically, you only care about this. The second line attacks here is irrelevant. The only thing you care about is Plunder, I cost 2 less. This means that sometimes with a very specific relic setup, you get to play your 4-mana champion on turn 1. Because there's another one that discounts it by 2. Perfect Hexcore. This one is God tier. Round start, create a Hexcore upgrade in hand. Your Hexcore upgrades have stopwatch and can upgrade any ally. The reason they're good is it does 3 things. First of all, you get a free spell every turn, which a lot of characters care about. Second of all, it is a created spell, which characters like Aurelion Soul and Victor care about. And lastly, it targets an ally, which champions like Akshan care about. So it does 3 things all at once, and it has stopwatch. On top of that, you get a random keyword, which sometimes just high rolls and wins you the game. Sometimes you get lifesteal. Anything that can randomly generate lifesteal immediately moves up a tier. Very good. Portal Pals. When I'm summoned, create 2 random 7+ cost units from your region and reduce their cost by my base cost. This is also here. It's comparable to Found Fortune. Something you play Found Fortune on, you'll probably also play Portal Pals on. Protectors of Demacia, I'm gonna put it in main champ only. This stuff is playable on something like Evelyn because she levels multiple times and you can get Lux, Garen, and Galio, but it's a meme, so just don't try to get it. Queen's Embrace, Spirit, Impact, Evolve. It's probably gonna be a hot take as well. It's at the top of niche combo filler or bottom for use by a lot of champs. I'm gonna put it here right now because I'm not convinced, but there is a very big likelihood that if there are any more fearsome units that get added to the game, like Nocturne, they will want this. I realized the text cut off. It says allies can only be blocked by units with 5+ power. So for anything fearsome related, this is going to be probably the best thing you can play. We just don't have that many yet. Scales of Judgment. Main champ only. It's playable on something like Shyvana. I just think it's going to be worse than what you should be playing on her. Scoundrel Hunter, challenge your power when you play a champion, summon a Warlord's Palace or advance it 2 rounds. That is main champ only. Searing Brilliance, power, game start, grant a random spell from your deck and item with -1 cost and draw 1, create 4 copies in your deck. This is used by a lot of champs. Anything spell related will like this. Secret technique, when an ally gains stats from a spell, it gains twice that many instead. I'm putting in a limited use. It is extremely good on the champions that can use this because it usually breaks them. This is one of the most like fundamentally broken relics in the entire game, but not everything gains stats from spells, if that makes sense. It's mostly like Spirit Blossom Yi, who goes galactic with this, and regular Yi, who gets the OTK because of it. It's good, just very limited amount of champions that use it. Shield of Daybreak. Daybreak is only used by Leona. Goes in main champ only. Shock and Awe. This one is probably at the top of this as well. There are like 3-4 champions that want to use this. Maybe like a little more. It's Annie, Misfortune, Fiddlesticks. This is the other relic. This is the second relic you want for Fiddlesticks with the Norra one to become a god. Yeah, on Warwick it's okay too. It's like it's extremely good on a few champions like Annie, Misfortune, Fiddlesticks, and then it's okay on stuff like Warwick. Talia too, yeah. It's like, I mean, Talia, it's gonna be hard to attack with allies that cost 1 or less with Talia. But yeah, you'll find some use out of it from them. When I'm summoned a round start, I still up to 3 health from a random enemy unit. I can't drop below 1 health. It can't drop. This is main champ only, Spirit Blossom Evelyn. It's not bad, but it's just like, why would you play this over something else? Most rares are better than that. Sirens Call, game start, create an Evelyn in hand. We summon a Husk, it loses immobile. This is like almost limited use because you can play this on Aurelion Soul, but anytime there is a relic and it's just like vastly worse than what their best setup already is, I don't feel comfortable putting it even in limited use. So for that reason, it goes in main champ. I'll put it a bit higher. Yeah, the ordering is like not amazing for the bottom tier. I mean, it's like this tier list is mostly meant for new players that want to see what relics they should be targeting. So anything like below combo filler should not really be looked at. Maybe like Fear Cleaving Axe is like good on Elise, and Elise is really good. But yeah, anyway, don't go for anything below limited use unless your favorite champion is something like Elise right now. Okay, Spectral Scissors. The only, well, not the only one, but one of the only relics in the game that got nerfed. This used to not save my supported ally as a follower, I believe. I forgot what it was exactly, but there was some degenerate... It was with Nidalee, I think, right? Like, Nidalee was able to just go infinite with this. This is pretty good, though. It goes in this. Yeah, I was copying... Yeah. So it was champions too, not just follower. This used to be like an infinite with Nidalee, but they nerfed that. Still good. Oh, Nidalee and Lilia. Yeah. There, you're gonna find a lot of use of this. Anything that already has ephemerals with summon effects are gonna be good with this. Spellweaver Symphony is limited use or combo filler. I'm gonna put it at the top of limited use. I think it's just like a lot worse than most of the other filler relics, and it's only good for stuff that really care about created cards. Just like not specific created cards like Victor. Victor kind of wants like a higher quality of created cards, but Aurelion Soul just wants any created cards. For now, until something like Seraphine releases, this is gonna be limited use. Spirit Glove, Overwhelm, game start. If I'm Spirit Blossom units and my cost of 10, like detrimental. absolute garbage. This might be the worst relic in the entire game for anything other than its intended use. Spirit of the Buhru. I find this to be limited use because it is so limited to allies that cost 1 or less. There are just not that many champions that use this, and even if they do, there's usually something better. Stacked deck. Plus 200 gold. Allies have +1/+1 for every 12 cards in your deck past 18. This is also limited use. You can, it's kind of like a build around. Sometimes you can do something funny with it, where you just fill up your deck with cards. Something like Nautilus is funny with this because Nautilus automatically sets his deck to 40 cards at the start of a game. So if you have 100 cards in your deck as Nautilus, he'll still give it only 40, but you get the stat boost. It's you can use it. 200 gold is nice. It's not bad. Yeah, Spirit Glove is actively detrimental. The only other one is almost coming up. Strength of Stone. That's the other one that can be detrimental. Okay, Starfire Spellblade. Power if I'm killed, +1 starting mana. If I have +1/+0 for each encounter, you have 1 disadventure. That is main champ only. Starforged Gauntlet. This is the single best relic in the game. Game start, if I'm in deck in hand and Titanic, +1 starting mana. That is the only part that matters. +1 starting mana. I believe that the entire ecosystem of Path of Champions is built around this very relic. One of the reasons being, for example, Aatrox got his new Darken thingy. This says +0/+3. And because of that, he has exactly 8 health. And because he has exactly 8 health, he can activate Starforged. Darius just got, I don't have the Darius one actually, I think it's at the bottom. Darius, Hand of Noxus, +2 and Challenger, exactly 8 attack. Activates Starforged Gauntlets. It just feels like if Riot wants to buff something, they make it so that Starforged Gauntlets can be activated on that champion. Anything that is Titanic or close to Titanic will want to use this. Anything that's Titanic, first of all, like baseline, slap this on 100% of the time. 8 attack or 8 health, play this. Other champions that are close to being active will usually go like Spectral Scissors for the +2 attack, so it's 8, and then play this. Just so you have a nice little upside from the scissors, but mostly you get +1 starting mana. It's game changing. It's just so good. Okay, Strength of Stone. This is the other one that can sometimes be actively detrimental. I'm putting it in main champ only, even though it's a general relic. There's just nothing that wants to use this except maybe Kayn. 3-star Kayn is like funny there. There are like Leona is okay with it, they say. I just think it's always worse. Problem with Formidable is just if you're taking damage and you're very often stalling, your deck's gonna be worse. Spear Blossom Eve, sure. I still just think there's probably better, man. I don't know. Yeah, it's fine with Spear Blossom Evelyn. I think the fact that you have to play something like Strength of Stone on her already makes the champ worse. Like, imagine just actually being a good deck or something. Leona's good. Evelyn is good. Here's what I'll say. If your favorite champions are Evelyn or Leona, try to get this relic. But those are the only ones that are going to be able to use it, and they're not very strong. So I just don't think I would not feel comfortable recommending this to new players at all. Swain's Raven Army. Game start, drain 5 from enemy nexus. If I'm Swain, refill your mana. So this one is also a hot take. Most people put this in God. I'm putting it in used by a lot of champs. I think it's overhyped, is what I'm saying. I don't disagree that it's very good. I just think it's really overhyped. And one reason it's good is that it deals damage immediately. So something like Packed Powder will immediately discount your champion. So Packed Powder means your 4 mana champion at the start of the game will be 2 mana because of Swain's Raven Army. Beast Within is the second best relic in the game. This gives everything Overwhelm, and if they have a subtype, +1/+1. Some people might put this here, I feel. But I think it's God tier because a lot of, especially like non-6-star fully maxed out decks, don't have a win con. This gives anything a win con as long as they play even slightly for stats. Lower end adventures, fantastic. On anything stat based, you'll win games because of it. Anything higher up, you're basically only going to play this higher up on stuff that consistently gets high stats. And there it's mandatory. And then we have the Darken Blade. Darken Blade is Darken only. When you play or transform a Darken, it strikes the weakest enemy. Main champ only. Well, Kayn also has Darken. Basically only Aatrox. Taker's Bow. Attacking ephemeral allies can take damage or die. It's probably going to find a home somewhere at some point, but we're not in that timeline yet. It's only for Spear Blossom Kindred, I feel right now. If I'm a Spirit Blossom unit, I cost 1 less for each different enemy. Yeah, it goes right there. Treasures of the Deep. Deep, and I am a sea monster. Enough said, that's Nautilus. Twin Drakehounds. Overwhelm, attack, deal 2 to the enemy nexus. If I've already attacked this round, deal 2 to all enemies as well. It's not even best in slot on Ambessa, who this is meant for. Plus 10 nexus health. If I'm Trinimir, when you grant stats to a unit in your deck, grant. This relic just pisses me off. All the way at the bottom. Power your skills, deal 1 extra damage per stunned enemy. It's only for Jhin. Jhin is really the main guy that play. Maybe Annie. It could be okay on Annie, but Annie is more inconsistent with her stuns. If I'm Yasuo, plus 1 starting mana, when you recall an enemy, increase cost by 2. This is also main champ only. It's both Yasuos. And lastly, we have the 2 I don't have. Soul Lantern, Tough Spell Shield. If I'm trash someone attacking ephemeral copy of a champion in your deck with less power, trash only. Plus, plus 2 attack a challenger. Play Apprehend on the strongest enemy. Apprehend is the Darius. Stun an enemy if you have Darius Rally. That is also for Darius only. That is my list right now. The 4 epic relics I would actively chase are these 4. I think this is the correct order too. Starforge Gauntlet is mandatory. If there is one relic you should try to get as soon as possible, it is this one. And then the second one is Beast Within. These 2 relics alone, mainly these 2, can be on almost any champion. Obviously, like, everything has a limitation. Starforged only goes on stuff that can get 8 attack or health. Beast Within only goes on things that care about stats and need to give them Overwhelm. Hexcore only goes on stuff that wants to target allies, have created cards, or spam spells. And Echoing I feel like is the most generally usable out of those. But it is also kind of a combo enabler. It's a nice to have, and for some champions, it's a combo enabler. So, I'm also going to put loaded. I think new players, it looks really boring because it's just 3 rerolls and a higher chance to find epic power. This is just insane. This dice alone, this relic alone, makes your adventures infinitely more consistent. That's really important. That is the list. I'd say it's... If I'm being completely honest, I'm gonna move this down a tier. That's the one change I'll make, because I'm being pretty strict with like where I put everything. And I feel like there are not that many trapped champions. So I feel like just for consistency's sake, I'm putting Harmless Scarcrow 1 down.
Thinking outside the box, Zillion Victor, time bomb printer, 1-2. Meta shifter, not a quitter, fighting for LPP, snooze.